Hello and welcome to my first video of the cricket circuit with Gerard K. Yes, it's the very first video that I'm going to put on, and it's going to be really fun because most of the things I'm going to talk about Test cricket these kind of weeks and days because yes, Test cricket is going here and there. Yes, people are telling me there's a tri-series happening in Pakistan as well, which we Sri Lankans are watching as our team performing because yes, we got to know that Sri Lanka won the yesterday's game against Zimbabwe, but we had to beat Pakistan if we have to go to the final. So without further ado, so I'm going to discuss about the first test between India and South Africa played in Eden Gardens in Kolkata. Yes, it's sort of like a very different test match what we witnessed because South Africa batted first and they just scored 159 runs in 55 overs. But the most important thing, the most interesting thing is that only 6 players who scored double figures and only Aiden Markram just scored 31 runs. But this includes 2 ducks in that batting innings. And for the India's bowling attack, Jasprit Bumrah always delivers the most when required. Took 5 wickets for 27 runs in 14 overs. And Mohammad Siraj is getting better and better as the day goes on. Took 2 wickets for 47 runs. And spinners like Akshar Patel took a 1 wicket, and Kuldeep Yadav getting 2 wickets as well. So that's the bowling card that India would manage. When India replied in the first inning, they just got 189 runs in around 62 overs. And 7 players got to double figures, and KL Rahul, although he couldn't get a 50, he just got 39 runs. And unfortunately, in that Indian batting inning, Shubman Gill, who is the Indian captain, retired hurt, and unfortunately, he has to ruled out in the particular series. And however, for South Africa's bowling attack, Simon Harmer taking 4 wickets, and Marco Jansen, they were evergreen Marco Jansen getting 3 wickets, and Keshav Maharaj, the only spinner. With Simon Harman, the left-arm spinner, took a single wicket with including Corbin Brosh taking a single wicket as well. So when South Africa batted again, they just scored just 153 runs, like 6 runs less than the first innings. But although like 153, I think in the context of the game, yes, again 5 players get into double digits, others just telephone numbers. And Temba Bavuma, the South African captain, the evergreen World Test Championship winning captain, Temba Bavuma, scoring 55 not out of just 136 runs. It's just not just 55 runs, most important 55 runs Bavuma scored. And Corbin Brosh, yet again, ever resilient with the bat, scoring 25 runs. Sorry for that. And for the India's bowling attack, Jasprit Bumrah and Akshar Patel taking a one wicket each. And also Siraj and Kuldeep Yadav getting two wickets each as well. And Ravindra Jadeja, who I think the most experienced test player in this side because yes, early on this year, Kohli and Rohit Sharma retired in Test cricket, and India's Test team is sort of like a transitioning phase since their retirement. And honestly, I mean, they are doing great. But after I said something, after 2-3 minutes later, something can be different. So without further ado, again, India's chase, it's, I mean, just only 124, 5 runs, right? It's easy, right? Eden Gardens, who never know. But in the events like this, unfortunately, India just bowled off a 93. That is devastating if you're an Indian fan, if you're a fan of Indian cricket, I don't think most of them are like fan of Indian cricket mostly, but 93 runs, just 93 runs, right? In a turning track in Eden Gardens. I mean, usually Eden Gardens, I mean, the pitch itself can deteriorate very quickly. I mean, we can give more examples than that. Just 35 overs played, 93 all out, and Sundar scored 31, Washington Sundar. I mean, he's very good with the bat as his confidence grows in test match by test match, 31 of 92 balls. But three ducks included. Yeah, that's one reason. Four players past 10 runs. It unfortunately, although we can say, okay, Shubman Gill can come in this innings, he couldn't. So he is out. So only 9 wickets fell, and that's it for India. 93 all out. Shubman Gill didn't bat. And South Africa won by 30 runs. Not only that win was important, they have to wait for 15 years to see South Africa winning in India. Last time when they beat India in a test match, it was in Nagpur 2010. And most importantly, what I remember, Hashim Amla scoring 253 runs and Dale Steyn, one of the greatest fast bowlers after Alan Donald, taking 7 wickets and decimating the Indian batting lineup. That was the last time in South Africa beating India, and it was in Nagpur, if I'm not mistaken. Then a lot of questions going into my head because Anil Kumble, the one of the India's legends, leg spinning legend, who was commentating in this game, he mentioned that I've been coming to Eden Gardens since my under 19 days, but I've never seen a Kolkata pitch behave like that inside 3 days of a test match. That was himself telling that after the game. On the other side, Gautam Gambhir, there were no demons in the pitch. It's just our players didn't perform well. I mean, two contrasting ideas from two former players. Yes, Gautam Gambhir, now an Indian coach, but although he managed to win few ICC tournaments, only one ICC tournament, if I'm not mistaken, the Champions Trophy this year, and most of the T20 series when India played, they won everything probably. I think so. In his coaching tenure in Test cricket can be questionable, and most of the people mention in social media that his coaching might have been sacked if the 5th Test match between England and India didn't play the way that India would have. So India won the 5th Test match anyways, but if not, it will be something to be pondered for many Indian fans and the cricketers and the coaching staff as well. That's what it says. But two contrasting ideas with two different players. Some things than what I would have seen that both of them would have given them very contrasting ideas. But unfortunately, I mean, although people are saying one thing and other person saying another thing, loss is a loss anyways. I mean, India or whatever the country, that too in India at home, losing a test match at home. I mean, they were like pioneers of defending their fortress. I mean, that's what we say, Fortress India, because before the New Zealand coming to India, no other team beating a series in India. But after the New Zealand Test series, yes, India lost all 3 matches. And then here we go. They just lost another one. I mean, 4 Test matches losing at home. Forget about the West Indies coming to India, because India played superbly well in that Test series against West Indies. So the question is, can India fight back? Because the second test will play at Guwahati, which it's a very interesting part as well. So I can make so I will make another video for that. So it won't be long. But going back to that, let's move on to the first test match between Australia and England, the Ashes. This is, should I say, a test match or a 2-day game, just like our school cricket? What we see in school cricket, I mean, under 19, Division 1, 2 school cricket, 2 days. This is happening the same thing. This happened in the same way as well, right? 2 days. It impact a lot in different ways. So before saying these things, I'm going to say what happened. Australia batted, beg your pardon. England batted first, scoring just only 172 runs. Believe me or not, only 32.5 overs, right? It's a test match, 32.5 overs, 172 all out. If that would be like 50 overs, 60 overs, or even 70 overs, that could be okay, possible. That could be arguable and reasonable. But 32.5 overs, geez, that is crazy. I mean, baseball, I mean, playing in one of the fastest decks in the Australian circuit. Nah, that is harsh. That is reckless. Reckless as you get. But taking the England 172 runs they scored, Ollie Pope scoring 46. Harry Brook, who is the white ball captain, scoring 52 runs. And Jamie Smith scoring 33. That's all the contributions they get. But others, first ball ducks. I mean, 3 ducks. 3 ducks coming from first ball, but altogether 4 ducks in that England batting card. And Mitchell Starc, people are telling why he retired in Test cricket. Here we are, 7 for 58. Believe me, 7 for 58 in 12.5 overs. He just decimated the England batting lineup, right? Brandon Doggett, who played his first Test match in his Test career, 2 for 27. And Cameron Green, just a single over, but took a wicket. So it shows how England played recklessly in everyone's eyes. But they can be slightly happy because Australia just scored 132 runs, 40-run lead. And no one scored more than 26 runs. I mean, entire Australian batting lineup, no one scored more than 26 runs. That include 2 silver ducks. Bryden Cast, 3 wickets. Jofra Archer, 2 wickets. And Ben Stokes, who's the captain of the England Test side, taking a 5-wicket haul. So, although less than a day, this Test match can be going either way around. England 40-run lead. People thinking, yeah, 40-run lead. I think Barmy Army, the Poms, the fans in England think, okay, we could have get 300, 350 and challenging Aussies, right? 40-run lead, few days more. Could be. But unfortunately, here we go again. 164 all out. 164 all out. 40-run lead. And again, they just recklessly batted 164 runs, right? All out. It's disappointing, right? And with few days, right? With few days, you have time, you have the resources, and you're just going baseball. I mean, you're decimating yourself. This is not baseball. This is reckless batting, brainless batting, right? Come on. But what could I say? That the top scorer in that innings, Gus Atkinson, scoring 37 runs. He just scored 37 runs, and others like coming and going, swinging their bats, and then that's it. Bye bye. Mitchell Stark taking 3 wickets. That completes his 10-wicket haul in the match. Scott Boland, the ever reliant Scott Boland, 4 wickets. And Brandon Doggett again had a very good outing with the ball as well this time, 3 wickets. Australia had to take 205 to get 1-0 up, right? 205 with the scores of 132, 164, and then 172. Yes, no one scored one. No one even scored a 50. I think. I mean, only Harry Brooks scored a 50. Others haven't, and no team total scored more than 175. But this time, it just only took 28.2 overs, just like a 50-over game, right? 205 for 2. Australia won the test match inside 2 days. And who else who did that? Guess. It's Travis Head again. Man. He and the month of November, just like a love story. If you remember Travis Head this month, I think most of the Indian fans would hate me a lot because World Cup final 2023, he scored 137 runs to silence every Indian crowd in Ahmedabad, with Australia winning the World Cup 2 years back. This time, home fans shut the England team out, scoring 123 of 83 balls. I can hold my breath how brilliant he was. And he showed how to play baseball with sense. He just did that. And to add to that, Manas Labuschagne, or Manos Labuschagne in simple terms, scored a 58 again. He too scored 58 not out in that final against India in 2023 World Cup, right? This time 51 not out and sealed the deal for England. Oh, sorry, Australia. So Australia won the test series, test match 1-0. The test series, only 4 matches left. But between the first test and the second test, only around like more than 10 days to go. Now probably around week, maybe. So both teams have to reflect their performances and see, okay, what are the good side they have done? What are the bad side they have done? And mind you, this test series in like Ashes, got to be very spicy, got to be very thrilling, got to be very exciting. Anyways, I think England missed an opportunity to at least give a game for that. But why I said that, because last year when India toured to Australia, the very first test match played at Perth. Yes, a 5-test match series again last year. India had a lead of 46 runs because they batted first 150 and they bowled Australia for 104 in both of their first innings last year at Perth. Not Perth, Wacker ground, Perth Stadium, the new Perth Stadium. So what they did, they scored 486 runs, 87 runs, correction. And they gave Australia a target of 534 runs and they won the match. Unfortunately, that's the only game that India would win in that test series. Other 4 games, Australia dominated and won 3 matches to 1. So that's the summary of the first test between Australia and England. And let's see how the second test match goes at the Gabba ground in Brisbane. Exciting, thrilling, yes. 4th of December. Big ball test, yes. Day and night. Probably everyone would have glued their eyes on 4th of December. If you're an Ashes fan or a cricket fan rather than Sri Lanka cricket, I'm also looking forward into that. But the one thing this test match made me shocked is the revenue of the Cricket Australia, because it mentioned with the test match ended in 2 days, the gap between the first and the second test widens up more. It widens up more, right? And this also negatively reflect the Cricket Australia's revenue in terms of ticket sales, because I think everyone coming from different parts of the country watching that test match, they're thinking, okay, this test match would have gone to third day or fourth day or even fifth day, but it just ended 2 days. Unfortunately, the revenue has to be cut out to 3 million Australian dollars. They had to suffer a loss, unfortunately. But all those things, I don't think Australian cricketers would have, what should I say, bother about that, because they want to win. They got it in the best possible way. Best and the worst, yes, that's the worst case. Losing 3 million of ticket revenue in Australian dollars. Yeah, but Australian players won't think for a second, because if they need to win, they have to win in the most possible worst of times, worst and the best of times. Travis Head's statement also reflects that he felt sorry for the fans, that they wouldn't come for the third to fifth day because of the early finish. That's Travis Head, though. That's how he plays. Because I mean, a few years back, not the same player what we see in him, because whenever he comes to the crease with the bat, he's decimating bowlers into parts, and he's a very canny off spinner as well, Travis Head. But one thing I've seen in him is the mindset. Mindset with this. Sometimes he can get out in a few balls, right? But his intentions was clear. Go and smack. He did it just like that. I mean, whether it can be a T20I game, ODI game, Test cricket, IPL, whatever. His idea is that. So, in comparison of these two test matches I have mentioned, the first test match in the Ashes just scored 673 runs. 673 runs with 32 wickets fallen. Yes, Australia only lost 2 wickets in that fourth innings. 30 wickets fallen in 673 runs. But the other side of that, India, South Africa, Eden Gardens, 594 runs, all wickets fallen. This means a lot for most of the statisticians, especially ESPN Cricket Info, because what I have checked in ESPN Cricket Info when it comes to lowest test match aggregates in all 4 innings, that indicates this is the 78th lowest aggregate score in the ESPN Cricket Info, the Kolkata test match. 78. There are 77 positions that has scored less than that, but this time, 594 runs, all 40 wickets gone. Probably the pitch might be the problem, or probably the way the Indian players played. I think that was the case. But unfortunately, these things have to be faced. If you're an international cricketer, you can't question too much. Whatever the challenges you have to face, you have to make sure you have to face it nicely and show your character in that sense. I mean, Temba Bavuma, World Test Champion, captain, 55 not out. He didn't complain. He just got 55 runs, thinking about the team's victory. And Temba Bavuma just did that as a captain. So both Australia and South Africa are having their faces to be smiled because they won their first test respectively against England and India. That was the case. So when I checked the WTC points table after these 2 test matches, Australia first place, I mean, 4 matches played, all 4 won. So they have a very perfect winning record. South Africa, why they're World Test champions? They're in the second place. Played 3, won 2, lost 1. The only test match they lost, if I'm not mistaken, that was against Pakistan in Lahore. The only test match they had lost is only that. 24 points and 67 is the percentage. India, 4th place, and England, more test matches, probably more punishment. They're in 6th place. That's why, I mean, the World Test Championship points table reflects that how cricket boards and ICC had to organize matches in a particular manner. But it's not everyone's question to ask the question, but it's up to that ICC and the other cricket boards way of thinking and how they plan. It's up to them. We just need to watch and see how this game goes in next few years. So that's the review of the first test matches between India, South Africa, and Australia, England. So I'll join back for the more reviews. So hope that I can make more contents and I can make more reviews. So everyone, please like and put a comment and subscribe and share the channel with the other friends as well. So that's it for my end, and have a nice day. Thank you. Bye.